Hey, you know the Homestead update that I gave last week seemed to go over pretty well. You guys, it got a pretty good reaction from y'all. At least I think it did. So I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing, or we just walk around the property, see what we did for the past week, talk about what's going on. You know, and from my standpoint, you know, it gave me some ideas for some videos and started some conversations here at home, just going through and talking about what we've done. So stick around and we'll go on a Homestead update walk. Welcome back to Grumpy Acres, everyone. You know, I guess the place to start this week is, let's talk about the biggest project we got done. And Roger's saying hi in the background, as usual. This is the biggest project we got done. I finally got that fence in, and I got this little pen taken care of. And we've got hay in here, and it's working out really well. I put this bale of hay in here last night, and you can see how much they've got it torn up by now. But as they tear it up and as all that stuff sits on the ground, that'll make some great compost when it comes time to clean that out and put a new bale in there. And the hay bale is an interesting topic because it takes us to the topic of feed. So that hay bale right there, last year, at the beginning of the year, cost $35, and I just paid $65 for it yesterday. And there's talk that in this area that type of hay bale, that's a 1,200-pound hay bale, will end up costing $100 before the end of the year. You know, and we need, if we're using those hay bales, we need one of those a month basically. That gives us one or two extra just in case something happens. You know, and in the wintertime, that's going to be real important because they can't get out on the pasture and feed because the grass isn't growing. So, you know, that's a real issue because that's going to cause a lot of problems for people. But we found a way to alleviate that pain a little bit. Come on, let's go take a look. So Angela went to the local co-op and found out that they sell their own brand of feed. They mix it themselves. Everything's non-GMO and it's non-medicated. And we got 1,000 pounds, which filled up 2.5 of those barrels for $200. Now we've been buying feed in these bags from Orscheln's, and 1,000 pounds of feed was costing us $500 now. Prices more than doubled on the bags of feed. So we've saved $300. We've saved $300 by buying in bulk and sticking them in these containers versus using those bags. And you know, that money's going to go back into the hay bales, but we get better feed for the animals. And then you see Big Boy poking his head around there, and then Francis over there on the other side of Baby. The other day, we sheared some sheep. We didn't film the process because I did not do a very good job. You can see all those cuttings left on the ground. It's been a couple years since I sheared some sheep. Boy, say that hard. Say that 3 times quick. But we ended up getting quite a bit of wool. We've left it out here because we don't have any bags to store it in. If you put it in plastic bags, it'll get moldy. So we covered it with the tarp last night, and Angela's going to go get some stuff to put it in. We usually use old thrift store pillowcases, and we hang it so that it stays semi-fresh. But we ended up, and we only did 3 of our sheep, but we went up and helped Darren from Hacks from the Homesteader shear their sheep too. So there's Francis. She looks so much more comfortable now. Look at that face. How can you not love that face? And like I said, Big boy right there, he ended up with a lot of stuff coming off. He looks so much like his grandpa, and he is a hoss. He's got to weigh 220 right now, because he looks fat, but that is actually all solid muscle. And then there's that little ewe. Where is she? There's a little ewe about the size of a small greyhound, that I was sitting on her back, and she stood up with me on her back. So she's a pretty strong one too. She's a fighter. Made it hard, but they're doing good. You know, we got all that extra wool off them. Those young males and the young females, we left their wool on them because it's not too terribly thick, and they'll weather this heat that's coming through right now. Okay. You know, that's one thing you guys need to be careful of with your animals is the heat, because it can be a killer. It wasn't too terribly bad here yesterday, but the rest of the week it's supposed to get a little warm. So we'll do that. And then speaking of the heat, let's go look at the chickens. So there's Roger. That's the most talkative he's been in a couple of days. His girlfriend Teddy, she disappeared. I haven't found any feathers, so I don't think she got eaten. And she's not really old enough to be broody yet. So we think she may have run off with the local turkey flock. There's been a couple of days that I've come home, and there's been a couple of hens out at the end of the driveway, looking down the driveway, trying to see Roger as he's back there gobbling. So we think maybe she's running with a bunch of hens, and we've got the ability to get another hen. We talked to somebody, and they said they'd barter one out with us, but we're gonna wait until we get the coop set up and get the run done properly. And then there's the coop. I still got to work on that. Now that I got the fencing done for the fields, I'll do that. Now come over here. It was a rough week for us as far as chickens go. We lost 5 chicks. Actually, we lost 6. We lost one of the natural-born chicks that fell in a watering bucket. So now we got to keep all the water in the watering bucket low enough that if they fall in, they don't drown. But we lost 5 of these little black hens and white hens to the heat last week. And you know, talking about it last night, you know, it sucks. Pardon my language, but it sucks. In the end though, you know, there's going to come a point. Hens are getting more expensive, and they're going to get priced out of people's budgets. I mean, somebody was telling me they paid $12 for a hen the other day, a little chick. You know, and that's ridiculous when we were paying just a year ago $1 a chick. So, you know, it's going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to buy chicks, so we need to start doing it naturally, either letting the hens get broody and sitting on them, or hatching them in an incubator. And we want the toughest ones to survive. So, you know, as bad as it is, losing those chicks, the ones that survive are going to make a way better stock for us. Now there was a guinea hen out here with these chicks just a second ago, so we brought the 13 guinea chicks out and had them in the coop for 3 days, and they got out, so I just took the pen out completely, and they all immediately disappeared. Now I know they're around here because every now and then I can hear them, and once or twice a day you may see them come out as a flock and run around eating, but they're spending most of their time hidden away right now, which is okay. They were nesting a couple nights ago up in that tree, which is good. That's natural for them. So we'll keep an eye on them. I don't think any of them have been eaten. I haven't seen any feathers or anything strewn about, so that's a good sign. Well, let's go over here and check out this field. Now the big project Saturday was getting this done. Like I said, I got the fence put in and got that little pen put up, and we actually used that pen to catch the sheep that we needed to shear. We ran everybody in there, got some food, and closed it in, and we were able to capture them. We didn't have to chase them around. But if you remember correctly, last week there were a bunch of barrels in there, and there was trash strewn all over this area, and it just looked terrible. So I got those barrels picked up, and I ended up moving 27 good barrels, and there were 3 barrels that had trash in them that I filled up with trash, and I left that 4th one there, and I'm putting trash in it. And then there were probably 6 or 7 barrels that were cracked and no good, so they went into the I've got a pile of broken barrels over there that I'm going to eventually get rid of. But yeah, I spent like all day Saturday and part of Sunday out here just picking up trash, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I got it cleared out. I still got some PVC and some loose metal over there, and those branches that I trimmed that tree up, as you can see, so we got some space underneath it. But we've got all those branches that need to be moved over to the branch pile that's going to be chipped up here pretty soon. But it's already starting to look a lot better. I moved the fence. I don't know if you can see it. It's down around the pond, and they've been tearing up the pond. I've got it closed up right now. We had an incident last night. They jumped the electric fence, so I've got to figure out why it's not shocking them and take care of that. But they cleared this area out pretty darn well. Let's go down here. And if you remember correctly, that area on the other side of those barrels and trees, that was up so high that you couldn't even see that metal implement back there, and you could not see the metal piles there. They ate it down quite a bit, and they uncovered some really cool stuff. So number one, let's check this tree out. We knew there were grapes back here, and I knew that when they came back here, they were going to end up eating some of the vines. But they uncovered, if you can see it right there, this tree. Where's right there? This tree is full of grapes, and these are river grapes. Angela said. See, they go all the way up there. So this tree is full of grapes, and what we're going to let it go this year, and we're going to harvest what we can off of it. And then this fall, we are going to take a bunch of cuttings and see if we can't propagate some grapes. And hopefully we'll get enough that we can plant them in a proper vineyard, and we'll have some left over to sell. But this grapevine right here is extremely hardy. There's another one right there that's got about 5 tendrils coming off of it, and those leaves have grown back in the last 3 days. Those leaves are all gone, so they're coming back nice and strong. And finally, this tree has grapevine on it too, with grapes. So we've got a great opportunity to propagate all this stuff, and we're really looking forward to it. We haven't ever done grapes before like that. So it's going to be a learning experience, and we're gonna film it as we do it, and hopefully share our experience with you guys, and hopefully we'll get some grapes off it next year. And then they uncovered all these telephone poles again. I had completely forgot about them. Those are going to come in handy. There's some fence posts over there too that are going to be reusable. They'll come in handy for some projects I have in mind, and then naturally, there's still trash over here. I've got to get all this taken care of. I put the lawn sweeper together, and I filled it up 3 times in about 20 minutes, and that's the grass I got from it. I'm just going to compost that grass, but as you can see, that field over there is starting to get a little shaggy. So sometime this week, I've got to run the mower across it, and I'll take it and I'll use it as mulch, and I'll probably feed some of it to the animals. There's not a lot of milkweed up on this end of the field, so I'll be able to get some cut grass for them. And it worked out really well. I'm going to make a product review video about it, because if you decide you want to get one, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. Let's just say I'm extremely happy with it, but there's just some issues, not issues. Some information you guys need to know. Then we turn around, and the pears are doing awesome. They are coming in. I think, they're extremely small, and they should not be. And I think the problem is that this tree has not been cut back for decades, and so it's just spreading its energy out too much. So we'll end up pruning it back this fall and or this winter, and hopefully we'll get better production, bigger fruit. The black breif patch is doing really well. It's got that one plant that had the fruit on it before, has got some really nice fruit on it, and all these second-year canes out here do have little tiny berries on them. I mean, I don't think they're going to be salvageable, but it's going to be, next year we should do pretty good on the crop. I'm going to have to mulch it really well, see if I can't get an old bale of hay from somebody, like a 3 or 4 year old bale that's moldy that you can't use for food, and we'll do that. And then we're gonna, where that black tarp is, we're gonna pull that back and mulch it and till it up, and well, I don't know if we're gonna pull it back. We may just use it like that. Do a pumpkin patch and a gourd patch like a Homestead Heart does. They put tires in the middle of it, and then they mulch it with hay and grow their mounds inside the tires, and it worked out really well from the video I saw. So we may just do it like they do it. Then we walk up over here to the apple trees, and this is an issue. This is something that we're trying to deal with. As you can see, these leaves are getting torn up. The problem is we've got a Japanese beetle infestation, and I've been treating this tree the past couple of days. This is only four days worth of infestation. I first noticed it, it's Wednesday morning, and I first noticed it Saturday, and they were tearing it apart, and you could walk out here and shake a branch, and literally hundreds of them would fly off of it. And this tree compared to some other ones that I've seen, Darren's got one up north of us that is completely denuded. They stripped all the leaves off it. So I've been treating it, and the way you treat it, I found, you use dish soap, just regular old non-antibacterial dish soap in a sprayer. You fill it full of water, and you use about half a bottle for a 5-gallon sprayer, and you just spray it. Now, I don't know, I honestly can't tell you if it's killing them or if it's just making it so they don't want to be on the tree. I can't tell you either way, but it doesn't hurt the fruit, it doesn't hurt the tree, and they definitely do not like it. And then Yoda, when she went and got me the soap, she got me stuff that smells like lavender. So I'm out here spraying for 30-40 minutes, and I walk away, and the area smells like lavender, and I smell like lavender. But it's working. I mean, I came out here the first day and sprayed it, and I didn't get up on the ladder like I did last night, and I didn't get those high branches. But you could tell the branches that I didn't spray because all the bugs like conglomerated on those branches. So I've got to come out here. I've got enough to do 3 or 4 more treatments on it. So I'm going to come out here tonight after it cools down and spray it again. And this tree has the same problem as those pear trees. I just think it hasn't been pruned in ages, and we need to prune it, and hopefully we'll get, I mean, it's got a ton of apples on it right now, but they're only, they're like navel orange size, and they should be the size of a baseball or larger. So it's just spreading all its energy out. So we'll figure that out. The fact that it's producing this year the way it is just has got us excited. We weren't expecting it, and it's just exciting. But you want to see something that's even more exciting? Let's check this out. So Angela was out here last night, and she was picking peaches. She still left some on there. There's still quite a few that aren't ripe. Most of the ones on the lower branches were ripe, but she picked an entire, probably 3/4 of a bushel of peaches off this tree, and I had one last night, and oh my gosh, folks, it was so sweet. It tasted so good, and the thing that made it so special was it was the first peach that we ate off the tree, and we almost cut this tree down. This tree, when we moved in last year, looked terrible. It really looked bad, and it bounced back. We came in and trimmed off that dead part, and we painted it. We need to get some more paint out here and paint it, but it just bounced back, and it's doing gangbusters. I don't think we'll have enough to sell this year, but next year, after we trim this up and manage it a lot better, I think we may actually be able to sell some fruit off this tree. We'll have enough, to do like a couple of pounds at a time for people, which is exciting. I mean, we're trying to get that revenue stream. And then, unfortunately, we tried air layering on this one, and it didn't work. Ooh, that sun just came out. It didn't work, so we'll have to try this again. I was thinking last night we may actually just try to propagate it by growing it from seed. That may be more easy to do for us, because we did. Here, let's go over here. We're back over at the big fruit tree, but as you can see, we tried doing some air layering here, and this branch actually still has leaves on it, so that tells me that it didn't die, and we're going to wait a little bit while longer and see if it actually worked. There should be roots when we take these bags off, if we did it right. All three of these branches here have leaves on them, but if we did it right and we take those off, there should be roots there, and we just cut it off below the roots and plant it in some dirt, and it should take off. So it's a learning experience, and we did this. We didn't film it the first time because it is a learning experience for us, and we want to be able to, when we make the video of it, to show you how it works, not how it fails. We don't learn unless we fail, but we don't want to waste the video on showing you guys a failure like that if we can perfect it and do it and show you how it works. All right? We don't want to show people how to fail. There's that blackberry bush. Ooh, there's one that's ripe. Look at that. That tastes so good. Then the bamboo patch is still an issue. we can figure out, if we can figure out how to take care of it and use it as a revenue stream, it'll be good. One thing I got to do is I've got to get my flammables building up, and I think I'm going to take out right here. I was going to take those willow trees out because they haven't been taken care of, so they need to be pruned and everything. But as this heat has rolled in the past couple of weeks, we found that they're tall enough, they cast a shadow back over to the house in the evening, and they make it very cool on that end of the house. As you can see, as we were cleaning up, we pulled all that PVC pipe out. That's going to be turned in. I think I've got enough there for 2 or 3 chicken tractors. I think I may make a couple for us and keep them, and then make one and sell it. And the prices they're going for now, I might be able to pay for all the material that I used to make all 3 of them, so that I basically got 2 free chicken tractors. And then we've got all this material that we bought earlier for. By the way, I did not stack that up. I had a 13-year-old helping us, and he did that. And just the fact that he got it from point A to point B is okay with me. And then got a branch that fell down yesterday that I got to take care of. And it's every time you walk around this place, you find more and more stuff that needs to be fixed and put away. And then this area, we've got to get it taken care of and pulled back. That Johnson grass is just, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I think I'm going to gravel that part right there. We gotta those telephone poles, we're going to take and make another parking area up at the front and segregate it off from a place where we're going to put some raised beds. So when we gravel that, I'm going to have them gravel this too. I'm just going to drop gravel in there. Well, that's about it for the outside of the house on the update. Oh, I forgot. We got fish this week. I don't know if you guys saw Being Tagged's Stocking the Pond video. Well, we piggybacked on their order, so we got some fish. We didn't bite nearly as many as they did, but Yoda put them into the pond, and there's a whole story there. We'll shoot a video and have her tell you that story here sometime soon. But that's something else that happened on the outside. Now on the inside of the house, Yoda worked a little bit on that room that we were rehabbing. She's got to finish remudding that room, and I've got to finish putting drywall up. It's supposed to be really hot the next couple of weeks. So I'm probably going to do a little bit more work inside, so I'm not killing myself in the heat. And then the big project for her this week, which is going to result in some videos for you guys, is I'm concerned about the energy situation, the electrical situation. There are already places not too terribly far from us that are having brownouts because of power, power shortages. I talked to somebody that I know that is connected with the regional energy company out here, and she said that as far as we're concerned, we're not running the risk right now. We've still got about 4 levels of emergency things that we got to go through before they start issuing blackouts. So I want to get ahead of the game. So I'm having Angela pull stuff out of the freezer, pull meat out of the freezer, and we're canning it. She started that, and in fact tonight we're going to smoke some fish, and she's going to can some fish, and she's going to do a video for it, and that should be really interesting. She found a new book when she was at Tractor Supply the other day, and she's using recipes out of it, and she's really excited. So that should give us some good videos on canning. So for you people that wanted more canning videos, we're going to be doing that soon. She transplanted the banana trees. Gonna do a video about them. My bananas and ice comment deserves a video by itself, because it's actually going to be a product review in that one. Like I said, I'm going to do a product review on the lawn sweeper, and we just got some other things. I'm working with a couple of people to get them to come on and talk to us about various subjects. These guys know more about these subjects than I do, so I'm going to bring them on and have them share their knowledge with you guys, which I think you'll find them very enjoyable. And then Tag and I need to get with him. We've got a video series that we've been kicking around for the past 3 or 4 months that I think he told me we need to pull the trigger on it on 4th of July, and I'm just now like, okay, he's absolutely correct. I need to get with him, and we need to do that. So there it is. That's the homestead update this week. Nothing. I mean, for us, it's really exciting getting the fence up and starting to work out the paddock schedule so that they're not grazing on that same piece of land all the time. They're on that main paddock right now that I need to figure out how to keep them off that so it can recover. I don't know if you guys have seen this on your pastures, but whenever they are let go like that, they look like they've got a lot of grass on them, but once you get them cut down, there's really not a lot of grass on it. So that's one of our long-term projects that we figured out this week we need to take care of, is we need to get seed. We need to start saving money so we can buy seed, so we can overseed that stuff this fall and let it grow over the winter, so that next spring we've got some good pasture area for them. Right now I've got four paddocks. I've got the main one, the one they were on where all that trash was, then around the pond, and then behind the pond is where they're going to go next Saturday. I'm going to move them down there. Things are going along. They're plugging along. We're like I said in that video when we were talking with Spags, we took a step back, but we're finally finally reaching the point where it feels like we're getting back into homestead mode. You know, where the garden kind of haven't been doing the garden 30 like I was supposed to, because I started doing morning walks instead, and in the evening I've got so much other stuff going on. I was out here on the skid loader hauling that hay bale. I didn't get inside till 9:45, you know, and it's been like that. I don't think I've stopped before 9 o'clock at all since last week sometime, you know. But hey, you know what? That's just part of living the lifestyle. If you're looking at becoming a homesteader, it's one of those things you got to deal with. You know, you make hay while the sun's shining, and right now it's shining at 9 o'clock at night. So we're out here working, you know. Well, listen, I got to go take a shower, and I got to go to my job, which is good. It's good. The job is going good. You know, I complain about it. Not gonna lie, I wish I could be out here on the homestead 24/7, but with the way things are, it's more beneficial for us right now for me to have this job and do all that stuff during the day. It's more beneficial for us. Eventually, when it gets to be where we can, it's more beneficial to be here 24/7. I'll quit the job. I don't have to have it. You know, that's one of the good things about being debt-free, people, is you're not beholden to an employer. You know, if they came in and said I wasn't going to work there tomorrow, yeah, it would be a little bit of a hassle for us, but it wouldn't be a life change. You know, well, it would life change. What's the word I want to look? It wouldn't destroy our lives. Let's just say it like that. Okay, I definitely have to go. I love talking to you guys and sharing what we're doing. Go out there. If you take any inspiration away from us, just go put it into your journey. Document it, guys. Document it. I can't tell you. I listen to some of you, or I read some of the stuff you guys post in the comments, and I would love to see some of you guys create your own channels and document your own journeys and share your experiences with us, because what you're doing is awesome. You know. Don't forget, 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Go back and make a comment on that video. I think as of last night when I went to bed, there were 30-some comments, and I don't know how those guys respond to like Billy Bond responds to almost every comment that people send, and he gets like 300 or 400 comments at a time. I honestly don't know how these people do it, but I'm working on it. Okay, till next time, go out and pursue life then free. Take care. Thanks, Milo.